Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2026 FIA F4 Esports Danish Championship, the premier sim racing championship of Denmark. And we are here once again with another year coming around to kick off an all-new season of the series, which keeps everyone asking the question, who is the master of the Formula 4 machine? 24 drivers, 6 rounds, 12 races, and come the end of it all, there's only going to be one winner. And today, we begin our journey, the season campaign, open up at the premier Dutch racing circuit, known as Circuit ZANDVOORT. Once the home of Formula 1 and now returning to the home of Formula 1 as of 2021, this circuit has gone through multiple iterations over its extensive history, but one thing that hasn't changed is its ability to bring absolutely incredible racing week after week and year after year. But as we get set for today, well, you're in luck, ladies and gentlemen, because we kick off with an absolute epic opener at the circuit, which had 2 incredible races back in 2025, and we've got plenty of stars from last year and plenty of newcomers. And in the commentary booth, you have myself, Paul Walsh, and alongside me is, of course, none other than Andreas Sorensen. Good evening to you, Andreas. How are you doing? It's great to have you here, and you look very happy to be alongside me in this booth.
I sure am, Paul. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. No, I've honestly never done something like this before, so I'm very excited for tonight. This is going to be incredible.
Indeed. I mean, you're a man of many talents, of course. I mean, whilst you may not be a sim racer yourself, I do know that you do run an absolutely extensive community dedicated to what is simulated street racing, arguably one of the biggest in the world with over 20,000 community members. So therefore, this is in your wheelhouse in a way, because you've got a massive enthusiasm for motorsport. Well, motoring, I should say, but we're going to teach you a little bit about motorsport as we get underway today.
For sure. Yeah. I can't wait to learn a whole bunch, because I'm certainly green on this, but yeah. It's going to be, I can't wait. I can't wait. This is very exciting, all of it. I've been reading a little bit on what's available to me. But besides of getting across the finish line first, that's about it.
Well, to be fair, you've already got the most important grasp, which is to get across that finish line first. But to finish first, you must finish. And, well, we have got 6 rounds we can see on our calendar here. We begin our journey at Circuit ZANDVOORT. And then after today, every 2 weeks we'll return. And we've got some new venues to make our way around, including the Australian Circuit of the Bend in round number 2. But then we'll head to the familiar territory of VIRTUALSPORTS Motor Centre in Norway for round number 3. And then in March, it will be a triple header to seal the deal, starting off at the International Mugello Circuit in Italy, a newcomer to the grid, of course. And then we'll make our way to a classic, the Circuito de Navarra in Spain, and we bring things to a close at none other than the circuit to Barcelona, Catalonia on March the 30th. So quite the calendar, and indeed it's going to feel like it's a long journey, but I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that journey begins right here and now as qualifying gets underway, and well, as they all make the way around in these Formula 4 machines. Andreas, one of the thought processes here, of course, is the fact that with all the drivers, no matter how you start off your season, you want to win your first race of the season, surely, because at the end of the day, you want to put down your marker and make sure everyone else is behind you.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, indeed. Boy. And as... Oh, go on.
No, I'm just watching along here, ready for whatever. But yeah, you're saying this is qualifying?
Oh, indeed, this is qualifying right now. We've got 8 minutes of qualifying, and as all of our drivers make the way around, of course, they have the circuit to themselves, each one of them, and the idea is here that what they want to do is just max out their own lap time. There's no shenanigans, nobody's going to be getting any toes or slipstream off each other. It's all about just delivering that one lap that will put them on the grid for the first of our 2 races. And we're riding on board, of course, with the number 1 of none other than Morde Ebrup, the champion from 2025, and also in real life TCR Denmark champion for 2025. Now, he shouldn't be running the number 1 necessarily, because if we did it based on the position numbers in the qualifying time trial or the pre-season trial, out of our 137 drivers, he was number 2. Number 1 would have been Noah Carlson, the man who finished 3rd last season. However, as is the defending champion's right, he is allowed to take the number 1, so that's why Edric does have the number 1 in the car. But we just want to point out that Noah Carlson was the man who took what was the fastest time in the pre-season time trial, and that's how we decided who would be our 24 drivers who would make their way onto this Division 1 grid. Speaking of which, Noah Carlson has just gone the fastest of everybody, but we've still got a bit of time out there, and well, just they make the way around. I mean, for yourself at this point, of course, it's just the drivers going around setting lap times. I could imagine you want to sink your teeth into seeing them go racing.
Oh man, almost wish I was sitting behind the seat myself. I have been doing a little bit of racing myself when it comes to not necessarily iRacing, but stuff like Assetto Corsa Competizione. Quite fun there, as well as what's it called again? I believe it's called Le Mans Ultimate. I've been screwing around with that a little bit, and yeah, no, I keep making sure that you're trail braking, making sure that you're hitting the corners right, that you're keeping your line intact. Oh, he can cut through like that? That's interesting.
Well, indeed, they'll try and do everything they can to shorten the run of the corners, and as they make the way around, well, taking those limits as what is tangibly as possible there.
Oh man, this is awesome. Love to see it.
Once he makes his way on through his turns 9 and 10 there, the switchback sequence of hairpins, those low-speed corners, which are definitely going to be some of the focal points when we do end up going racing. We're not too far away now, 5 minutes still left on the clock here, and all the lap times coming in quicker and quicker at the moment. And of course, the cars they're racing, ladies and gentlemen, these Formula 4 cars, the FIA F4 as it's known on the iRacing platform, modelled after the 2022 Formula 4 car, albeit we don't have different manufacturers here, we just have the one spec car and everyone in an equal machine. There's no tweaking of the setup of the car, you don't change anything, the suspension or the tyre pressures, everyone is running the same machine. This really is going to be a Drivers' Championship come the end of what will be the 6 rounds, and that's why what you're seeing in qualifying right now is everybody absolutely going for gold here and looking to put themselves on pole and prove themselves to be the fastest, as Everett goes the fastest now, half a tenth quicker than Carlson. But goodness me, Andreas, looking at that time into how tight it is between everyone as we jump aboard the Noah Carlson.
It is. We're talking less than seconds, way less than seconds. It's really interesting to see. I mean, the people here, I can't imagine the amount of training they've already gone through just to get this perfect. It's awesome to see.
Indeed, it is absolutely incredible. Right now, it's coming down to being on the 2nd and 3rd row. When in fact, anywhere inside that top 10, when you've got a top 10 separated by no more than 300, well, not 300, 3 tenths there, as we look to Luke Reimer in number 8. And, well, with regards to Luke, of course, his season previously, quite a strong one. The man behind what was Arctic Sim Racing Team, which will see plenty of their drivers on the grid for this season. And, well, they'll be looking to work together. And just to make people aware, this is purely a Drivers' Championship. You do have multiple drivers who are part of several teams out there, and they will try to work together, of course. Teamwork makes the dream work, they say. The only thing is, at the end of the day, there's only one prize up for grabs, and that is being the Drivers' Champion. So you can imagine, come the final lap, teamwork may go out the window, because, of course, the big accolade to motorsport is, if you want to win, you're going to beat your teammate just as much as you're going to have to beat anybody else out there, as we look to Marcus Terkelsen. But from your perspective, Andreas, I mean, look at the youngster there as he makes one around. A lot of these drivers being in what would be their late teens, as he runs very wide there, he's absolutely on the limit.
I can't believe they let him in this young. That's amazing. Oh, I wish that was me back in my teens. I can't lie. Oh, that's really cool.
Oh, 100%. I'm with you on that. Indeed, and as he makes his way towards the end of another lap onto the start another, we look to Victor Trudzev Nielsen meanwhile, and currently the 3rd fastest out there, and he was definitely one of the drivers who kept everyone guessing exactly whether he would take the title last time out. And just a bit of context for those curious, if you didn't tune into the 2025 season, it was in the end between Mulder Edrup and this man Victor Nielsen. And it came down to what was, in the end, result count back. They both ended the season on 222 points. However, it was Edrup who had 7 race wins over the season. Meanwhile, Nielsen only had 3. And the other 2 wins went to 3rd and 4th place drivers in the championship of Noah Carlson and Kasper Riesebeck Andersen. They're all back here once again. And, well, they'll be looking to try and repeat it. But they've got plenty of fresh faces on the grid. Victor Nielsen right now with a very focused stare there. And he was like that all the way through the last season. And Andreas, I can tell you one thing right now. He's got the absolute look of somebody on ice here. He is not thinking of anything else other than go for perfection.
You could not be more right. He is absolutely locked in, good to go, ready to sit a time that's worth a pole position. I love to see it.
Indeed, and it is pole position, a good spot there as he makes his way onto the top step of 32.879, a tenth faster than what anyone else has been able to do, but he's still got to wait. Lovely lap, but can anybody else pip into it as Edrup comes to the timing line? And as he does so, what's it going to be here from our number 1 driver?
Oh my God.
And it doesn't look to be an improvement. It looks as though he's going to be staying stationary in seconds. We're heading towards the end here. And, well, with only a minute left on the clock, we're running out of time. When we do see the clock go to 0, immediately all the drivers will be required to go to the grid. There won't be any overtime in this session, so they've got to get it done now. As we look to one of our newcomers here, as he completely chops off as much as possible at turn number 6. That's Miguel Muir. And, well, we're very happy to see him here, giving it his all. And And indeed, right now, just building upon previous experience in the simulator. And keep in mind as well, a lot of these individuals, they have all raced in real life in some description or the other, or the vast majority of them. We do have a couple here who have no real life experience, but most of them do have experience at least in karts, if not in racing bigger cars such as TCRs, or even in some cases GT4s as part of the ADAC series. But Annual makes his way down towards what will be the chicane here. Well, 17th place in a group of 24. That doesn't sound great, but when you consider the fact the gaps between each other, there's not even a second between all of them in total. I mean, the margins could not be any more marginal. As I head on the round, one thing as well to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed for the benefit of my co-commentator here, is that we will see our drivers every so often cut the track limits when they do go racing. Those are known as incidents or X's, and the idea is they will have a certain number of those they can use before they pick up a drive-through penalty. So they will be cheeky in the race in particular, and well, they'll be allowed to get away with it until they're not. But with that, that's qualifying complete. Andreas, how was that for your first qualified session?
Well, very interesting. Lovely to see. Bunch of youngsters competing to be up front. I love to see it. Yeah, this is great. I can't wait to see how the race is going to turn out. Like you said yourself, seems like somewhat a lot is allowed until it's not. And I like a bit of drama, I can't lie. So let's see what happens there.
Well, fair play. Well, here's your grid, ladies and gentlemen. On the front row, it's an Arctic Sim lockout with Victor Nilsson ahead of Mode Edrup, exactly as they were the last time this year they visited the circuit. Behind, it'll be Arctic Sim Sander Brobear ahead of Noah Carlson. And then we do have Luke Reimer in 5th ahead of Marcus Tekilson, who is 6th. 7th place, starting off your full throw, it's Casper Lund ahead of Mikkel Sigar. And then we do have Simon Sigurdsson ahead of Frederick Kierkegaard. And that's your top 10. Asger Lauritsen is in 11th ahead of William Rumfeld. And then we do have on row number 7, Peter Lunin ahead of Albert Kortrup. Then on row number 8, it's Martin Buch Bertelsen ahead of Magnus Jørgensen. And then on row number 9, we have got Miguel Ure ahead of none other than Leroy Mount Ross. Completing the top 20, it's Oscar Christensen and William Fries. And on the final full row of the grid, it's Philip Igor ahead of Nicholas Lund, with Albert Palle completing your 23 starters for the day. Well, there is the grid. And Andreas, we're just waiting for a couple to get in spot, and then the lights will be going on.
Oh, yeah, I see. We're missing, what, 2 in the middle there? Oh, 1 popped in right just now. All right. Sounds good. And we're just waiting on the green light here, you're saying? Oh, I hear it. I hear the engine's roaring.
Green, green, green.
And we're off.
Lights out, away we go, and as they roar their way away, well, 20 minutes of racing gets underway. The first 2 20-minute races today into turn number 1 they go, and our 2 leaders, well, they've definitely got a good start at Sander Probert. Meanwhile, going defensive versus Luke Reimer. Out to turn 1 they come, towards turns 2 and 3. And right now, the top 2 immediately looking to work together for Arctic Sim. They're trying to pull away as quickly as they can as the battles further down go on. Reimer still fighting hard with Probert and Carlson there, as we do see Casper Lund and Miguel Siegel also get involved. And these wonderful
They're close.
Oh, it is close, is it not?
They're still close to each other. This is incredible. Holy smokes.
Oh, indeed. And when we were catching up earlier, I was telling you about the fact these Formula 4 cars, they are literally going to be wheel to wheel and inside each other. And right now, you can see what I mean. As they all come towards the end of what's the first half of the lap. And now, well, there's going to be a dive on the inside there. That is going to be
somebody cutting close. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, look at that.
Well, Carlson go for the move at the end, but that's going to cost him some time. And in fact, Kilson now, his teammate's going to try and look for a bit of a move. As behind them, well, it's sort of a big queue here between all these tires. And as they power their way up towards what will be turn number 11, well, it's a look around the outside there, but that's not going to work. So they're holding the brakes here. And well, everyone stays steady. Oh, goodness me.
Unfortunate.
That going around.
Somebody really got messed up there.
Oh, indeed. A couple of drivers coming together at the chicane. I believe that was Albert Woodward who ended up by himself going off the road. And then we did have William Fries and Philip Igor going off. But with their loss, it's another 20 drivers who carry on then. And after 1 lap, it's going to be Victor Nilsson ahead of Mode Edrup, with third place man Sander Probert, Luke Reimer, Noel Carlson and Marcus Tekilson at 5th and 6th ahead of Mikkel Sigurd. Albeit a bit of fighting going on between those two as Casper Lund looks to move. And then it's going to be Frederick Kierkegaard ahead of Simon Sigurdsson to complete that top 10. Well, there's 1 lap down, got plenty more to go, Andreas. And, well, our 2 leaders pushing onwards.
There we go. It's on. Fight is on. Because that's what it is. It's a fight. It's a matter of endurance. Oh, boy. No, and I have no idea. idea what type of equipment these fellows are running, but if I'm not mistaken, a lot of it is 32 Newton meters of sheer force in their direct drives. So it's definitely a matter of endurance.
100%. I mean, with the equipment they've got, you've got a whole variety of machinery here which they're using in order to be able to get these simulated experiences. But either way, regardless of how many Newton meters are going through the steering wheel, you can tell you one thing, they are definitely giving their all. But it's very physical here, and as we do see side by side going on there between Lund and Lauritz, Lund gets it done. And well, I can tell you there that right now my co-commentator is absolutely bum clenching in his seat how close they're getting.
It's awesome. I love to see a little bit of fighting on the track.
Well, the fighting will continue. It's going to go all the way the distance here. And right now, what you can see, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that as the field starts to split out, what a lot of drivers now find themselves in is a bit of a challenge, whereby a lot of drivers, they want to go too wide for each other, but they're costing each other time as they fight. This is none other than Fredrik Kierkegaard and Simon Sigurdsson, as they continue to fight each other out of 1 in towards 2, but they're losing a lead group. And pace in these cars, in these Formula 4s, is just as critical as it is the slipstream. You always want to be within a second of the car in front, so that way you pick up the distant draft and you gain time. So, what we'll see is our on-board man here, he's out of the draft, immediately starts to lose a lot of speed. As he goes up the hill, he's got to try and find his way back in, but will he be able to? Well, the answer is yes in the end. Well, as he makes his way around right now, well, it's going to be a bit of a move there being made by your number 23, William Rundfeldt, who's going to make his way up the inside. He's making progress. He's up into 11th now. He's very hard. But as time continues to make its way on, of course, we're only 4 minutes into this 20-minute race. We've got a bit of time to go. And my goodness, he looks like an absolute youngster there right now. He's actually driving like a double.
That's amazing. You go, kid. Oh. This is awesome. Oh, man. Teach them young.
Teach them young, indeed. They can be the future stars of what will be Danish motorsport, no doubt about it. Whether they start...
Big spin out.
And this was the replay, I think, earlier, of course, for Albert Quadler, who ended up going sideways. And then we had the two coming together there of none other than William Fries, and I believe that was none other than Philip Eargor. Couldn't quite tell how they came together, but Quadler just came in hot. Here's the replay of what happens to the other two.
Oh, no, they got stuck into each other there, yeah. Oh, spun out there the second time as well. That's unfortunate.
Indeed, unfortunate incident between the pair there, but hopefully we'll see more from them in race number 2. And the thing with these Formula 4 cars is once you make contact, normally that is going to be, if it's a big shunt, you're normally going to find your way to the pit lane, and unfortunately your race may be over. But it's not over right now, and we continue to look to our drivers continue to push each other here. Well, we've fallen a little bit back into what is the clutches are just outside the top 10. Everywhere you look, there's a fight going on. Right now, we are looking at the number 21 of Asger Lauritsen. He's currently best the rest in 11th place. He is trying to build a queue of cars behind him. He wants to catch up to the man in front, and he'll be hoping that nobody else bothers him at this point. But I've got to ask, Andreas, if put yourself in the shoes of Asger right now as he makes his way around, are you going to be looking forward, or are you going to be looking backwards, given the speed you're attacking the circuit?
Oh, that's who are we referring to here?
Oh, well, we'll hold the phone on that one for a brief bit of contact there, as that is Magnus Jørgensen, who has been getting a bit of a tap on the wheels, and he's gone around there at turn number 12. I think that was a bit of contact between himself and Sigurdsson. I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards are going to take a little look at that one. But we're going back to the 40 with any of these drivers right now. I mean, the speeds they're doing, is it not amazing, the fact that we're looking forward, nailing the lines, but they've got to keep looking in the mirrors as well, wondering when the next guy's coming up to them.
Oh, yeah. Especially when they're this close all the time. Yeah. This is nothing like what I'm usually doing. A lot of it is just virtual street racing in my case, but yeah, this is a whole new street for me.
Oh, indeed.
But I definitely think it's more a matter of looking ahead than looking backwards.
You'd be absolutely spot on there. The only time they're going to be looking backwards or to their side is when somebody's right alongside. The concentration levels to the maximum. We get a replay of what happened.
Okay. So he spins out.
tap there by the looks of things for Magnus Schuensson, but still, on the absolute limit, that's going to happen every so often, and well, I think the stewards have already got their hands full. Speaking of which, we do have what is a bit of an announcement with regards to a steward indecision. Our number 22 driver of William Fries has picked up what is a 5-second post-race penalty. That's of course in a collision that would have been from much earlier on in this race. But back to the lead as we come. These two, well, they seem to be absolutely enjoying time out there at the moment.
So for causing a collision, you get a penalty of 5 seconds layered on top of your time overall. Is that on your lap or on the whole race?
That'd be on your whole race, essentially. So at the end of the race, wherever you finish, they just add 5 seconds to your race time, and you may be promoted down the order.
Right. Depending on... Yeah, that makes sense. That's how it gets. Drama on the track. You get more time on your overall time. Unfortunate. That's the name of the game.
Oh, indeed, very true. And well, as we come back to our leaders at the moment, and Victor Nilsson and Wanda Edwards still together. Neither driver here looking to back off from each other, and it does look as though they're still trying to make the break from the rest of the pack behind. And well, they haven't quite been able to get that gap up to a second at the moment. They've got it up to half a second from Sander Robert, the third driver in this pack. I don't think Sander's going to want to let them get away anytime soon, just because he knows how strong the draft is around here and doesn't want to lose it. But we ride on board with him for a moment. Full focus there. And well, you're talking a little bit earlier on, Andreas, about hardware. You might notice he's got that big curved screen that goes all the way around him, so that way you can see all the way around his person.
There might be 3 of them, if I'm being honest, which I would argue is probably the way to go. More visibility, higher field of view. Yeah.
Indeed. Field of view absolutely vital if you want to be able to see what's going on left, right and centre. But right now, as he looks in towards the next lap, and we head towards the halfway point of this race, no change up front. However, mistakes can happen at any moment here, and if they do, well, they can have big repercussions. And at the back of this group, do have the group of place 3. That's going to be your 5th place runner of Marcus Tekilson, ahead of Noah Carlson and Nicole Seagur. And well, that's going to be feisty. S's there, 2 wide for a brief mark. That's going to be between none other than Simon Siverson and Leo Malros. Oh, goodness me. What a moment there between those two.
They've got to have an incredible sense of how big the car is to be able to fit in tiny holes like that. Yeah.
100%, you're absolutely spot on with that. It's so close together again, my goodness.
Oh, boy.
As they make the way down here right now, it's going to be absolutely side by side on the braking in towards the chicane. Is he going to go in for the move? Yes, he is. To hold the place. It's still too wide. Oh, goodness me. And well, Andreas, I get the feeling right now you can't believe what you're seeing.
This is, I love racing overall. It doesn't matter if it's on the street or on the track. This is always exhilarating.
And well, they get so close from corner to corner here. The fighting still goes on. And we do ride aboard now with our driver. That's none other than Martin Bertelsen. We can try and go around the outside of Sigurdsson in towards turn 1. Of course, he can go around the outside because it is a banked corner, so he can carry a lot more momentum on the outside than he can on the inside. Does he get it done? The answer is yes, he does. He's up into 13th place. Now, he does. One thing we need to keep in mind, of course, is the fact the grid for race number 2, it is going to be a grid that sees the top 8 finishing positions from this race inverted. So whoever finishes 8th in this race, they take pole position. Meanwhile, whoever takes the win finishes in 8th. The drivers in between also flip. Those who finish 9th down, that's exactly where they start for race number 2. So if you can't win this race, what can always be valuable is taking home 8th place instead, because then you start on pole for the second and final race of each round. See, that's going to be Frederick Kierkegaard. He's currently the man who has that in his hands, but we're still looking at the front here, and so we should, because our leaders right now, well, they're building up towards the conclusion of this race. 8 minutes still left. But right now, the gaps are gradually growing here as everybody's starting to really dial in. coming on out right now, and looking to yourself, Andreas. I mean, it's been an absolutely brilliant race so far, but what you may start to see shortly is, as we get close to the end of this race, like there, just a slight runway to open up the corners a little bit, some slight tactical off-tracks, as we like to call it, just to carry a bit more miles an hour.
Right. Makes sense. I imagine this. Oh my god, he is so young as well. I love this. That's awesome. That is awesome.
At the end of the day, age is no barrier to motorsport, whether it be older generations or the youngest generation, the future talent. And well, I do believe that we are just riding with one of our runners down towards the back end of the top 10. And well, as I said earlier, a lot of these drivers, they did all start their careers in real motorsport in karts if they're not already still doing it. So therefore, the simulator is just as much a welcome home for them as, oh my goodness, that's going to be too wide heading up towards turn 7. Take a deep breath. Always there. Take a deep breath on that one. That's a move and a half, and that's Seagull ahead of Kierkegaard now as he moves back into 7th place. These two fighting over what will be the front row of the next grid. But meanwhile, up ahead from, well, in fact, they're still running on board here as they fight the way on through, and Seagull right now trying to come back here for a move in towards the latter half of the lap. Makes his way onwards right now. Well, it's going to be an opportunity that he's going to wait and take as he gets ready to bat on the brakes into turns 11 12. Can't seem to find it at the moment, and instead just has to wait that little bit longer. But small mistakes there coming from the driver in front of him, and Kilson is the one who is trying to find his way through. But off the corner he goes up towards turn 14, and a huge draft here, full throttle all the way down towards turn 1. The overspeed he's going to pick up here is the best part of 2 to 3 miles an hour. He's going to have to go high around the outside little by little. He gets ahead. There we go.
Big swing out and attack.
He goes to the switchback, coming up towards the next corner. Does he get it though? Not quite.
Come on now.
Indeed, absolutely riveting racing here as they make the way onwards, and right now, well, no way through, but it just goes to show you here at Circuit Zandvoort why it's so lovely, this circuit. It's the fact every corner you can defend it, you can attack it, you can do what you want to do around here as long as it's legal, and right now these two still locking horns from turn 7 to 8. I mean, goodness me, I think at this point, Andreas, the question is going to be when, not if, they're going to be side by side.
Correct. I'm sure on the long straight they will be just side by side, but let's see what type of drafting he's going to get out the exit here in the last turn.
Here he goes then, building up the speed, and little by little.
There's a Jew 4082 asking if the drivers have any pit stops.
Well, no pit stops in these races. These are purely sprints, so we go literally from start to finish. The only time they'll come in the pits will be if they picked up any damage or they picked up a penalty that they need to serve in the pit lane.
That makes sense. Mark Haven is asking 4 times for the contact, if that's still the case.
Yep, that's correct. So just to explain that quickly, albeit hopefully we don't see any contact here in iRacing on the simulator. If you make contact with another car, what ends up happening is it's registered to both drivers who win the contact. Doesn't matter who's actually at fault from a stewarding perspective, but you'll both get 4 instant points, and those add up with your off tracks, which are single instant points, or 1x's as they're known. So contacts are 4x's, and when you get to a certain number, 90% sure of what our instant point limit is here, but it will essentially lead to you picking up a drive-through penalty of some description. Our stewards, of course, they will be looking out for those 4x's because those will be the instance they will review.
Oh, and he's still fighting the fight. He's in it to win it. Oh, he's getting close.
I think this is the closest we've seen from 2 drivers so far today. I mean, that's... Oh, goodness me, I thought he was going to go absolutely all in there.
Yeah.
Look at the grin on his face. He was thinking about it as well. He's keeping.
He was. Yep.
Oh, goodness me. Well, Miguel Seagull, if you can hear this right now, not... Well, I think he can, to be fair. Otherwise, he'll be a man of many talents if he's listening to the broadcast as well. I can tell you one thing, you are keeping us absolutely glued to our seats.
100%.
Oh, goodness me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we are glued to our seats, of course, we are continuing to head towards that finish line on this one. And somebody's run a bit wide there. Everyone's running a little bit wide now. The tyres are starting to wear down a little bit. Not that they'll need to replace them. These tyres, they're good to go for the whole 20 minutes here. And indeed, right now, all these drivers definitely in the field of the mood. And we do see that power run all the way to the wall. Marcus Tilson's coming over. Here we go, Seagull around the outside again. Can he get it this time?
Let's see it. Oh, he's going to have to amp up the heat a little bit to get that seating right ahead of him.
Quite worked that time, but definitely continue to look for that potential to move. But come away from them as they take a brief respite to a little bit further back in the running order. The battle that's going on here for around none other than 12th place. This is Simon Sigurdsson ahead of Oscar Christensen. These two trying to chase down Martin Bertelsen as well, and that's going to be for 11th. They can bring all three together. So it tells me they may, before this is said and done. Albeit right now, and a bit wide there is Christensen. Just a bit too eager with the pedal. Mistakes are easy to make, but they're not easy to rectify when you get it wrong at this level. We head back to the front of our field, and well, Andreas, we've left them alone for some time. And Sonny, it was 2 cars who were leading the way. Now all 5 are back together, and we've got 1 more lap to go, I do believe, after this one.
And that Victor Nilsson is just not budging. He is out there.
Oh, 100%. They're up there, looking to go. But here we go then for the final time in this race, for our first race of the season. Will it be Mulder Edrup or Victor Nilsson, your front 2, who take this win? And Sander Broberg, who'll be right on board with right now. He's the 3rd place man who's looking for a way into the party. Looking towards turns 1, 2 and 3 goes. And as he does, well, can't find a way in at the moment. Edrup has taken lead back. This is just the build-up. That's the first third of lap done like that. And now it's the long run up towards turn number 7. But, I mean, you can see how they're snaking around, Andreas. Nobody wants to lose that slipstream.
Of course not. It's crucial.
Absolutely crucial as they make the way now out of turn 7 in towards 8. And, well, we're looking for the 2nd place man now of Nilsson. Can he get a move done? The answer is not quite at the moment. He looks one side, he looks the other. He is looking every which way here. And look, outside, he's going to go for the switchback, but Edrup sees it coming and says, no, you don't.
Very talented racers here on the track today. Holy smokes. These guys have been doing it for quite some time, it would seem.
100%. The talent's all there, but now 2 quarters to go. Will it all be there for Mulder Edrup, the defending champion, of course, at the very front of this pack? Can he bring it on home and start his season as he left the last season? Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, out of the final quarter. His head rises in anticipation. Drag race to line. The checker flag awaits them, and as they come to line, it is going to be a 1-2 for Arctic Sim Racing, and Mulder Edrup takes the first win of the season ahead of Victor Nilsson, with Sander Broberg completing that podium ahead of Luke Reimer, Noah Carlson and Miguel Seagull. Speaking of which, a little bit further behind, we do have there Marcus de Gilson just fighting hard, and in the end, well, he does manage to finish 7th ahead of William Rumfeld, and your top 10 will be completed by Asger Lauritsen and Leroy Malmros. Outside the best of the rest will be Simon Sigurdsson, but as they all cool them down, that was just race number 1, Andreas. And I mean, what an impressive day for our drive. We've got another one of these to cover shortly.
Yeah, surely. 2 weeks.
Well, another race before we come to 2 weeks from now, I can tell you that.
Oh,
it's going to be another 20-minute thriller.
Yeah, gotcha. Can't wait. This is already very exhilarating. A whole bunch of youngsters here fighting for the right positions to get ahead of the curve.
Well, do you fancy taking us through the results from that one?
So we got Malte Ebdrup here at first position. Arctic Racing is clearly dominating the board here. Then we got Victor Nilsson 2nd place. Sander Broberg 3rd. 4th, we got Luke Reimer. Then we got 5th, Noah Carlson. And 6th, Miguel Seagull. And 7th, Marcus Tagerson. Oh, man. There's a little bit of... this is some good stuff. Marcus Tagerson doing 7th. 8th, we got William Röhnfeldt. 9th, Asger Lauritsen. And 10th, Leroy Malmros. And then we got 11th place, Simon Sigurdsson. 12th, Oscar Christensen. 13th, Kasper Lund. 14th, Peter Lunding. Then we got 15th, Niklas Lund, I'm guessing. I believe that's a silent H. 16th, Albert Pelle. 17th, Martin Buch Bertelsen. And 18th, Markus L. Jørgensen. 19th, William Fries. 20th, Albert Kurtrup. 21st, Mikkel Noor. 22nd, Frederik Kierkegaard. And at 23rd, we got Philip Egel. Yes. Awesome. And the fastest lap? Oh, we're moving on. Yes. Hello there.
Indeed. Well, hello again. And what a first race. I mean, how was that for your first taste of the Danish F4 Championship?
Very interesting. Once again, I am brand new to this. I have never done something like this before, but I have sat in front of the screen before, so at least I got that going for me. Yes.
Oh, indeed. And also, to be fair, I mean, I'm going to have to learn one or two names from yourself now. Those are absolutely polished with a silver tongue there. And I've been rehearsing all day, to be fair, but it doesn't compare to the wonderful dulcet Danish tones of yourself.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a tongue twister. We like to have a potato down our throat when we speak our native tongues. That's just what it is. Yeah.
Indeed. With race number 1 complete, of course, we got to see there are 2 major championship contenders from what was last season. They were right at the front once again, giving it a go, but we also saw Sander Broberg right in the thick of it, and I suspect a couple of drivers might have just taken it a little bit easy for the first race of the season, thinking to themselves, you know what, championships are won over the distance, not just in race number 1, but everywhere you looked there, we got to see some incredible battles. I mean, 24 drivers, of course, there can only be one winner, but you almost, in a way, want to say they're all winners for battling that hard and enjoying themselves out there.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's also something that was really incredible to me is how young these people are. I find that absolutely incredible. I'm so happy that there's fathers out there that really wants their kids to go for something like this. Love that. What a great way to put them into the love for cars, for example, like, because that was a big thing for me. I think I've had passion for that since I was 2. So there's that as well. Yeah.
Oh. 100% indeed. Many proud mums and dads there tuning into their
100%.
Sons, and well, more still to come, ladies and gentlemen, because as you can see there in the top left corner of your screen, we are in our warm-up phase at the moment, which means all our drivers get a little bit of a comfort break. They're allowed to take a step away. We're not allowed to. We've got the ball and chain around our ankles. We have to stay in the Conte booth. They've locked us in, and well, it's a good thing they've locked us in, to be fair, because we don't want to go anywhere other than straight to our next race. And we're coming up next is the 20-minute follow-up sprint race. And just to remind you how we set the grid for it, we reverse the top 8 finishing positions of race 1. So whoever took the win, they start 8th, second start 7th, etc. You get to the 8th place finisher, they start on pole, and then 9th and down, they start exactly where they finished for race number 2. So they've got the hard work to do, and arguably those who finished 7th and 8th, they have the glory of starting on a front row. There's only one thing. Over 20 minutes, you can expect the people who chase down the podium in race 1, they're going to want to try and come through very quickly if they can, and that's where all the excitement and madness begins, because you've got the slightly faster driver, if you will, or the most talented drivers, depending on how you want to evaluate it. They've now got the pressure of they've got to cut through the field as quickly as possible.
I would imagine so. Now that they've already positioned themselves as well as they have in the first race. Yeah, I know I would want to. Yeah.
100%. Well, the adrenaline's going to be running high, and I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, this season is definitely off to a high. But with that, I think we might be getting ready to make our way back to the grid for the second and final time today. We're only seconds away, and indeed, there is the grid. And very shortly, we're going to be seeing all the cars make the way onto this wonderful tarmac. Of course, Circuit Zandvoort 9 in full as the CM.com Circuit Zandvoort for sponsorship reasons. And well, if you're a little bit of a history guru with circuits, you may be inclined to realise that this is the 3rd iteration of Circuit Zandvoort. It's existed in 3 guises, but that doesn't matter. What matters is how our grid lines up. And here they all sit then. It is William Rundfeldt, who starts in pole position, having completed that race in 8th. He'll be joined on the front row of the grid by the man who battled hard with Miguel Sigor. That was Marcus de Kilson. Then we do have Miguel Sigor and Noah Carlson on row 2, with row 3 consisting of Luke Reimer and Sander Broberg. outside of your first 3 rows. On row 4, it's Victor Nielsen and Modit Edrup, your top 2 from race 1, ahead of Asger Lauritsen and Leroy Malm-Ross. And then we have Simon Sigurdsson and Oscar Christensen completing your top 12. On row number 7, it's Casper Lund ahead of Peter Luning. And then, well, in fact, we're going to skip that, ladies and gentlemen, because the revs rise. They go roaring again. It's time for race number 2. And here we go. Lights out and away we go. And here we go, guys. Another 20 minutes.
Green flag.
Straight over to the inside, defending as hard as possible. There is William Rundfeldt, and Marcus Gilson's going to make the move nice and early, and Gilson's into lead here as they pull the way towards turn number 2. But this is just the start of the madness from this point onwards, albeit what is organised chaos, as we like to say. Oh my good lord, they get very close there. Push back to the green. All the field together right now, and well, we'll see how long they all stay grouped together here before they start to split into packs. But what you can see is that your top 2 from race number 1, they are not quite able to make progress here. And the way everyone is absolutely fighting hard. These lovely panoramic shots here, brought to us by our broadcast director, really giving a feel of how close that field is on this open lap as they come charging on through. And right now, nobody separating, but plenty of fighting. It's oh my good lord, that's close, that's very close there.
Yep.
Well, that's Asger Lauritsen being pinged around there like a ping pong ball, to be honest with him. The number 21 driver right now has gone left, he's gone right, but he somehow survived it all. And well, Simon Sigurdsson's watching it from behind. Well, break it down in towards the turn of 11. They go!
Oy, big pit. Whoops. Oh, big old crash.
Oh, indeed, very unfortunate. There's so many drives involved in that one. And well, the stewards definitely going to have their hands full with that very quickly. Well, as more drivers here really try and pick up the pieces now of what's happened, I'm sure we'll get some replays of that when we do to understand what exactly has gone wrong. But meanwhile, after one lap, what's gone right here is our leader, Marcus Gilson, ahead of William Rundfeldt and Miguel Seagur, with Luke Reimer in full head of Noel Carlson, Modit Edrup, Sander Robert, and Leroy Malm-Ross ahead of Victor Nielsen and Albert Quadrat. But more fighting to come here. Andreas said, well, if race number 1 was an appetizer, this is the main feast right now. Although I shouldn't mention the food, you suspect.
Oh, I agree. People are at it.
They push on here, all drives right now, everything. And well, Luke Reimer trying to go around the outside there of Rundfeldt. I think he is. He's going to get this done. And well, just about nails it there. He moves up into 3rd place as Reimer, with Rundfeldt right behind him. Do have Carlson there looking for a move. The number 5, the number 2 driver moves into 4th place. A big move. Lovely move from him. But Edric meanwhile, oh well, the number 1 driver doing everything he can now to try and pick his way through this field. Of course, the man who took picture in race number 1 takes a little cheeky peek up the inside. Can't find it at the moment, but he's still got plenty of time here. He doesn't need to rush this too much. He has got 17 minutes. He wants to get to the front of it before the whole field starts to split, because it gets harder the bigger the gaps are between the cars. Actually, you then don't have the slipstream to work with. Right now, everyone's staying together here as they come to the end of lap number 2. And well, Miguel Seagur here, we saw him fighting a plenty in race number 1. And well, he's going to go up the inside of his teammate here. Do you think they're on the radio to each other, talking to each other?
Yeah, they're probably discussing what happened earlier regarding the massive pit and the big old... Oh, nope, another driver just came off the track here. Oh, back quick on it though. Likewise with the other guy.
That's Noel Carlson, who's had a spin, and also there, secondary, was Asger Lauritsen, who's dropped all the way down. Not quite sure how that started. You see now it's ended, and Carlson's still fighting. He's had a spin. He's immediately back at the fighting here. This man has no break.
It's incredible. Consistency.
Absolutely persistent, no doubt about it. Well, as they come out to turn 17 towards 8, these drivers right now, well, nose to tail, as far as they go. And well, if our opening 2 laps been anything, here's a replay of what happened. That was a tap to the side there, and everybody else made the way through. That's why the instance we did on the open lap. Then we also had this was into lap 2. That's me. He got there on the wheels between the 2 drivers. And well, some elbows getting out there nice and early. And oh, goodness me, that was a concertina. And that was a knock to the rear there of, I believe, the machine of none other than Miguel Muir, who got pulled up. And this was the big crunch.
The big one. Incredible how they all survived and are just sustaining the damage. I wonder if enough is enough in terms of when the car has taken so much damage it gets horrible to drive. Like, aren't they, like, I'm just wondering as to how that actually works, how it all takes damage, if that makes sense.
These cars will take damage much like their real counterparts would, albeit the damage in the end, there's a certain amount you can probably tolerate, so a sort of slight bit of damage to the front or rear wing. You can carry on driving, but you'll find that, say, the car's not so comfortable in the corners, or your steering's out of alignment, but big knocks. So contact like this, for example, you can probably get away with it, you can carry on driving. It's been turned sideways, the tyres will be a bit warm for a couple of laps, you need to try and cool them down, and that was a tiny tap there as they went free wide and just wheel-on-wheel contact. However, a big shunt, like what we saw at the Hanshurst chicane and the start of the race, those, if your rear wing comes off the car, alternatively you lose the front wing, you're probably going to the pit lane for repair work, you might be out the race because these cars are so reliant on their aerodynamics or their wings in order to get all their corner speed.
Makes sense.
See our drivers carried on here. Those are in good condition, at least for now. We have unfortunately lost two drivers in this race at the moment. That's Sigurdsson and Kasper Lund, and Oscar Christensen has got the car back out there, albeit a lap down in 21st place. We still have 20 runners here. The field has been spread quite a bit as a result of what happened at the start. Still, everybody who's out inside that top 10 going in it to win it. Looking to your third place runner here of Nico Sigor. Well, out of the final corner he comes, and he's got the company of Modi Edrup right behind him. And top two, meanwhile, they're just making their way onwards, trying to work together here to kill and Reimer. Will be able to put away. A move been made, perhaps.
Incredible how Menth is already third place.
Well, he's absolutely flying, isn't he? And that's why he's your 2025 champion. And now he's looking, of course, to defend it for this season. The pace from him is absolutely staggering. And he's up to third. Now 2 to go for him, Andreas.
But Seamus Galawson has got the 5 seconds for causing a collision.
Good spot there. So we've had Lauritsen in the end up with a penalty for an incident towards the start of the race. And, well, we'll be able to look back at that one afterwards. A frustrating one. But we do have a panel of 4 stewards who are looking over all these. So therefore, it's not just a quick, what is one person takes a look at, that's it. They do have what is a head steward and 3 others. And the head steward does have the right to be so in the case of a time break on the stewarding decisions. And here we are inside the car of Luke Reimer, halo and all. The Arctic Sim driver in the number 8 right now, battling for the lead. Onto the hairpin there, and now up towards turn 30 he goes. And as he does, well, run as close he dares to dream to do so through that right-hander onto the start finish straight here. And Reimer right now knows he's right behind him. There is little room for the mistakes between these drivers. Pounces way along to Gilson, pulls the way over. And runs going around the outside here. It's early fighting between these two. It's fighting that's going to cost time to the pack behind, but nobody wants to give in. And nobody wants to let go at the moment of that lead of the race. I think they're all worried. And as soon as they do, well, suddenly they won't have a chance to take that lead back. And, well, coming around right now, I think the bigger concern is where it is Modi Edrup going to be starting to look for moves on them. Because, as you said earlier, Andreas, the fact he was up to third in only 6 minutes right now, surely another 6 minutes time he'll be in the lead and he'll be running away with it. Maybe not quite like that, but that will be his game plan, or an ideal place to be. But in the meantime, he finds himself still tucked into this long snake train, and well, Victor Nielsen and Sander Broberg are on the back of it as well. 1.5 seconds separates the top 6, all in a single camera shot. And what I do believe right now, but 6 of these drivers just not wanting to fight too hard, just want to keep each other under pressure. How on earth he can take his hand off the steering wheel there to give his nose a quick rub? Well, that I don't know. I'd be keeping 2 hands on the wheel.
He's been itching his face all both races long here. Poor fella.
Fair play. Oh, goodness me. Definitely right now is absolutely I can imagine he's building up a bit of a sweat. They all will be. See what comes on through right now. Well, at this point, it's so close. I think we've got a raft of stewarding decisions coming in as well at the moment, unless I'm mistaken. went well down. In terms of our leaders here, I don't think any of them are going to be caught up in any stewarding that's going on. I know it's a busy day in the office since the start of the race, as we do have confirmation of what is for our number 11 driver a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, and also for the number 5 Sander Robert, he has picked up as well a drive-through penalty that he's just served where he's driven into the pits and he has to go along at the pit limiter speed, so that's going to cost him the best part of about 20 seconds or so of time at least. He just has to crawl along, and when he leaves the other side of the pit lane he can get himself back up to speed. That's one of the more severe penalties that's available.
Yeah.
Indeed, not too many more than that. There's a stop and go penalty where you pull into your pit box and sit there for a period of time, and then beyond that, not that we should ever see it to be fair, is a disqualification penalty. That's if things have gone too far, but hopefully we never see one of those. Hopefully. But instead, what we're here to see is absolutely brilliant racing, and right now half this race complete, still half to go here. Your top 6 still as they were, and well, no change at the moment, but they are getting frisky out there, particularly if we are looking to Victor Nielsen, who is getting closer and closer every corner turned. We have seen William Rumfeld fall away from this. We've also lost our 6th driver in this group, and that was none other than Sander Robert, the man who had to take a drive-through penalty for the altercation on the open lap, so he's fallen out of this. It's gone from 6 to 5. 5 cars in it to win this one, but Circuit Zandvoort will keep us guessing who's it going to be to the very end. They come here, will there be a change of position? No, not quite. Reimer taking a little cheeky peek up the inside of his turn 2, staying exactly where he is at the moment, but he just wants to tease it out. And I've got to ask you, Andreas, if you were in one of these guys' shoes at the moment, would you prefer to be the lead car, or would you prefer to be one of the cars towards the back of this group? Would you prefer to be the leader or the one who's being led around the circuit?
That's probably a good question. I'm not too sure. I believe I might want to be somewhere in the middle, feeling out the waters, seeing what's possible. But obviously, are we nearing the end of the race? I'd like to be up front, but yeah. No, this is exhilarating to watch. I'm also sitting here with the lay of the land here on the right side of mine, trying to figure out which turn is what. Haven't had much time to prepare for it at all, giving real life situations, but I'm enjoying this, learning as we go.
And to be fair, learn as we go, that's all part of it, to be fair. And they will all learn as once. We all start somewhere. There's nothing wrong with that as they make the way out of turn number 14. As they come around then to go on to the start for the straight, well, from more to Edrup, to your point earlier, saying that earlier on in the race you might want to be in the middle of this pack. Like this man, I think right now he's starting to think about heading towards the front as he looks one way than the other.
Oh boy.
Could this be? About the way out of turn of 1, and to Kilson and Reimer right now coming on through the quarter sequence. They're still 2-1. They're going to fight it every step of the way, and right now we're running wheel to wheel. They're my goodness, it's still wheel to wheel.
He's got the drop on
3 wide. He's going to go as they break over the hill, and they go 3 wide all the way through. That's 5. That's exactly right. Oh my goodness.
Very, very, very awesome driving seeing here on the track today. Oh, and he's up front. Up front. There you go. Big dog business. That is some driving. He saw them fight for quite some time, and he gave it a shot, and he came through. That's awesome.
100% with you on that. That was absolutely incredible. And well, I don't think we have an award for overtake of the season, but if we do plan to have one this year, I think right now Mod Airdrop has already grabbed that award and decided to put it into 2028 because of that. My goodness. Marcus de Gilson right now where he drops down, and well, I don't know if he's smiling next he's enjoying the fight or if he's smiling because he's just been the victim of probably one of the most vicious overtakes I've ever seen in my career of commentating. Either way, well, right now he's enjoyed himself, no doubt about it. But here he goes now looking for a move on Victor Nielsen. He's going to try and go around the outside of the very colourful Arctic Sim racing machine. Can he get it done here? He's going to go over on the brakes. Goes nice and high. And just runs out of road there. Can't quite make it happen. But he did go for it either way. Well, right Now, staying where he is at the back of this group of 5, but they're all still together here after what was the absolute heroics we saw on this long stretch of turns 4, 5, 6 and 7. Only a lap to go, and just like that, it's a lap with the past. But still another 5 minutes to go, Andreas, and well, it's going to be absolute edge of your seat stuff here. If we have that before the final 5 minutes, what can we expect now, I wonder?
Solid question. Probably just a hint of a little more drama. We got number 17 here. If I can find him, causing a collision with a warning. So we're well on our. This is already a proper race. I can imagine. Yeah, Peter Lunding. There you go.
Spot on. If you're wondering why he's got a warning rather than a time penalty, it's probably because the stewards have decided the contact wasn't severe enough to warrant a penalty, but the warning is essentially to say to him, do it again, and you'll definitely be getting a time penalty, if not perhaps far worse. So he just feels as though being a bit cheeky is the best way to describe it. You can't keep getting away with it. Here from the rear of your number 4, poetically in 4th place right now, of Victor Nilsson, as he powers his way along the start finish straight. And well, here comes Marcus de Kilson again looking for another move. These two teams seem to be very locked in, fight each other right now. And well, going absolute defensive there. Bit lock up. Oh,
little rear end bump there.
Bump in the rear, but to be fair, they'll get away with that. There will be a little bit of damage on the front wing of Kilson's car and the rear of Nilsson's machine. It shouldn't affect them too much. It was quite a flat contact, and those you normally get away with. It's when you've got the side-on contact, that's when things do get very bad very quickly. Well, meanwhile, Luke Reimer here trying to come back at more than Edrup as he makes his way in towards turn number 7.
Luke is locked in. Oh man, it's nothing but game face on that guy. He's looking for that first place.
Because the focus levels there absolutely at their peak. It's so wonderful we have the ability to see the driver webcams as well. You can see the levels of concentration.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm noticing there as well that he's got his window open and everything. I can't imagine what the temperatures are in Denmark at the moment. I presume winter means it's quite cold, but I can imagine in his room right now it's absolutely boiling in there, or he's absolutely sweating.
Yeah, 100% with the computer going off, the massive magnet right in front of you, and the lights and everything. But it is really just like 1 Celsius in Denmark at the moment. We just had a bunch of snow, but it's effectively all washed away at this point.
Fair play. Well, definitely the big chill there, but things are keeping nice and warm out on track here as our drivers make their way onto what will be most likely a penultimate lap of racing today. So here they come once again. 3 minutes left on the clock. 2 laps to go. Alder Edrup, your leader, ahead of Luke Reimer. Victor Nilsson completes that top 3. Sigor and Marcus de Kilson completing the top 5. But right now, Alder Edrup, your lead. The man who pulled off an absolute hallelujah of a pass, a 3 wide up towards turn number 7. He made it work somehow, some way. But now can Luke Reimer come back at him one more time today? That's to find out as our drivers carry on. And well, elsewhere down the pack, most are battles. They are calming down a little bit. We do have a bit of intrigue for 8 between Albert Pudrup and Leroy Malmros. Otherwise, this is the big story right at the front.
Yep, that's without a doubt the constant fighting they got it going on here.
Switchback sequence they come through turns 9 and 10, and as they run off the corners there, right now the driver's going to the absolute limit. And if they have got any off tracks they could potentially use as a little bit of a tactical what is it gain in terms of time, they may just use it 1 or 2 more times. We will see. But right now, of course, for Luke Reimer, indeed all of them, they'll know exactly how many times they've tried to abuse those trap limits. They'll know how many more times they can do it, and they'll know that it's all about the risk versus reward here as they're coming out. And well, Edrup there decides to do a bit of rally cross for an out of what's turn number 13, open up the corner, just giving him a little bit more speed, about 1 to 2 miles an hour more coming down the start for this straight. So Reimer won't be able to get as close as he would previously, but he's still going to look for it on the inside here. Edrup invites him to go for a move, and Reimer says, no, I see what you're going to try and do. I'm not falling for it. So here we go. Final lap. Andreas, who do you think it's going to be, Edrup or Reimer?
I think it's already set in stone. I believe it'll be Edrup 100%. He is absolutely locked in and at the helm of a winning position here, so I see that guy coming across the finish line as number 1. But you never know. The race isn't over just yet, so Well, we'll see what happens. We are in the final lap here, though.
Said we've still got half a lap to go here. Anything's possible until they get to that checkered flag. A small mistake could be literally what makes or breaks. But here we come then. On towards turn number 10, and right now Reimer, where's he going to go for the move? Has he worked something out here, or is Edric just proven to be a bit too quick? It's a little sideways there, it's coming out of 10, that just cost him a tiny bit of time, does Reimer, and Edric now will be safe here into the chicane at turns 11 and 12. That right in towards the left. As they're coming out, well, Nielsen and Sigurd there with him. The top four back together. We have lost our 5th place man. He's fallen backwards a little bit to Gilson. Not quite the pace to stay with them anymore, but here we go out the final corner. It's a long run to line, but after what was an absolutely incredible win in race number 1 for Morda Edrup, that's a grin that says I've just taken another win. For Morda Edrup, it's the perfectionist of his season. It's 1-2 as he weaves his way across the line ahead of Luke Reimer. Victor Nielsen completes the top 3 ahead of Nigel Sigurd and Marcus de Gilson. That's your top 5. But your winner there, I mean, he's absolutely gritty. As further down, well, this is the fight for what is 10th place, and in the end, it's going to be Philip Igor, who just pipped Sandro Grobed's finish line.
By the very last second there, yeah.
Oh, indeed. Only 100th of a second between the two of them in the end.
Wow.
Tries to finish this race. The margins, they're so tight. And, well, literally in the end, it's 10 thousandths that make the difference. It's absolutely incredible. Our finish line there, coming on 17th place finisher of none other than was Martin Bertelsen behind Albert Palais. But with that, Andreas, an incredible 20-minute race, and I think over to yourself, sir, for our results.